We are here again. Hi, 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 hi. My people, my people. All right, let's gather here today. Wonderful night, wonderful people. Let's make it happen again tonight. My name is Tade Cash, and we are in the night economy. Let me know who is here around. Let me know who is here. It's 11:30. Let's have some time. Let's have some moment. Oh, beautiful people. Oh, college is here. Let's see who is here again with me today. Night economy, we are here live again. Beautiful, beautiful night, beautiful people. Let's have some good time. All right, let's have some good time. Good evening, colleagues. Let's have some good time. 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 All right. It's good. It's good. Let's see who is joining us today. Let's see who is joining us this evening. Tell your friends. Invite them to come. Beautiful evening to everyone. It's a night. Barnabas, Uche, good to see you here today. It's beautiful to see you in this night economy. Let's make this happen. Tonight again, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Oh, let's make this happen today. Oh, Chinaza Purity. It's good to see you here. It's good to have you here again today. Let's make it happen. Tell your friends. Tell the enemies you want to convert to friends. I honor you, Barnabas. It's good to see you tonight. Tell everyone. Let them join us. Chinaza, it's good to see you again tonight. It's good to see you again tonight. Invite your friends. Invite your friends. Let them join us. Let them be here with us. Let's learn together. Let's pick up an idea together. In about 2 minutes, we're going to start. All right, so let's invite people. Tell your friends, put their name in the comment section, just the way Collis has just done. Thank you, Collis. Invite them. Some of them are lying on their bed right now. They just remind. Once again, let's remind, let's learn. Let's learn from each other. This is another night of the night economy. You know, there are so many things going on in the world. In Nigeria, we hear things like right now we're really battling with the dollar exchange in Nigeria. You know, the foreign exchanges, it's something else. The US dollar, and some people seems to be more current with the exchange rate. You know, every single day they will tell you, now this how much is it, this how much is it, and it's not a bad idea at all. It's not a bad idea at all. So let's be here today. Let's learn from each other. Tell your friends, tell them to join us. Tell them to join us. Let's see what we can make of it tonight. What can we learn? How can we learn, and how can we use this learning to change our lives? All right, let's create a connection today. Let's create a connection. Let's create a connection. All right, so let's create this connection this evening. Thank you. Thank you. Tell your friends. Let them join us. Let them join us. Let them join us. Let's have some good time. Let's have some wonderful time. You know, let's have some good time. All right, it's such a beautiful day. How are you doing today? Okay, so there is no foreign exchange problem. There is no foreign exchange problem. You see, dollar is not your problem. Dollar is not my problem. We don't have foreign exchange problem. Rather, there is a problem that we have, and that's why tonight you don't want to miss it. Because the night economy is not about the national economy, it's not about the state economy, it's about your economy. And so we show ourselves how to get better in our own economy, how to build an economy that can help us. And that is very important. So you need to know how to build the economy that can help you to be the kind of person that you want to be able to live the kind of life you want to live. And that is very, very cardinal. And that's why we are here, and that's why we hang out in the night economy where we come. So there is no foreign exchange problem. So if I say to you that there is no foreign exchange problem, but you said I go to the market, every time everybody talks about, the reason why the price of things are expensive is because of the dollar exchange, of the dollar foreign exchange and all of that. And you're wondering what exactly is going on. So some people have made the possession or the obsession of their life to be on the fluctuation of the dollar, the US currency and all of that. But let me tell you something, and as we go on this journey tonight, I need you to understand that currencies of every nation is a brand name. So United Nations has a currency, and the biggest asset of the United Nations government is their dollar. And the government, is called a petrodollar. And so nations of the world that depend on this dollar, that build their life around this dollar, they begin to find their own relevance on just how much is the exchange to this dollar. But the point is, when you look at the fluctuation of the dollar, it's all dependent on one thing. And you are going to see what that means tonight. It's all dependent on one thing, and it's all dependent on exchange. It's all dependent on demand and supply tension. So how many number of people are demanding for the dollar versus the number of people that want the dollar. And when it is in a floating market, everything begins to change. So how can you look at the price of this dollar, and then you begin to look at your personal economy? Is it that you really have a foreign exchange problem? No, you don't have a foreign exchange problem. It's another problem entirely. The foreign exchange problem, what you call the problem, is just a shadow of what the true problem is. And as long as we are chasing shadow, we are not going to solve the problem. So what exactly is the problem? And that's why we are here today. We're here today to talk about value. Because you don't have foreign exchange problem, you have value exchange problem. Hello. We don't have foreign exchange problem. We have value exchange problem. So there is no foreign exchange problem. Dollar is not a problem. Pound sterling is not a problem. Whatever currencies of the world that other people spend in their nation is not a problem. So what is the problem? The problem is value exchange. So you need to know that the problem is value exchange. And how can you grow in your own personal economy? How can you change? How can you look at your value quadrant and begin to see what is more important in this value quadrant? And how can you engage in your value quadrant, or what I call the hierarchy of your value, to be able to create something that can change your life? So the first thing is to take your focus away from thinking that the foreign exchange is your problem. All right. In the last few days, I wanted to buy stuff and all that. I wanted to buy stuff on Amazon, and the dollar was just the way it is. And so I have to change the money to the dollar, and so that I can buy what I wanted to buy. But this is what happened. It is not the value. The problem is not. Let me say this. When you think your problem is proceeding from the outside, okay, Okuchuku, it's good to see you tonight. Thank you for coming here today. It's awesome, brother. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about why foreign exchange is not a problem, something as it is. And so when you know what a problem is and you can really face it, when you think your problem is from the outside, then that conception or perception is the real problem. So what do you need to do? You need to address that perception, because 95% of our error in thinking is an error in perception. So if I could change my thinking, if I could change my perception, I am going to change my life. So what is the problem? The problem is valueless change. What is money? Money is not value. Money is value voucher. You see, money is not value. Money represents value. Money is a value representative. Money is a certificate of performance. Money is a value voucher. It is kind of a voucher that you give for the value. You know, for those people that went to boarding school, you know, one of the things that you are being given if you're in a boarding school is that you are being given a voucher to take to the restaurant so that you can buy the meal. Now, what happened is that the money has been paid, then they give you the voucher. The voucher is not the food. The voucher is a representative of what you have. And so it's not the food. It's just a representative of what you have. Same thing with money. Money is a value voucher. Money is a value voucher. You know, in a society where the people that govern the society does not understand what money is, guess what happened? They're going to mess up the whole process, because the only power that the government of a nation has is to print money. They print money. That's why you see the money. All right, you see the money and they tell you is a central bank note. In other words, the government is the one that print the note. That's the only thing the government knows how to do, to print the notes. So the more the notes they print, that's why you have inflation. What does that mean? The printing of money, the printing, excessive print of the money begins to brings about the high price of things. Now, the price of this book can go from, let me use a pen. The price of this pen could be 10 naira, or how much is that? Could be 50 or 100 naira today. But when there is so much of money in the system, guess what happened? This price of this product is going to go for 200 naira. Now, does it mean that the inherent value of this product has changed? No, but you see, there is more money in the system for this product. Now, so people look at it this way and say, but there is not so much money in the system. More money is being printed in the system, but this is what happened. There is inflation. So what kind of inflation then do you have? Because there is inflation means that now there are lesser food. Things are chasing something. So as a result of that, the price of everything is going higher. The price of everything is going higher. The price of everything is going higher. Now, it doesn't mean that the value of that thing has increased. It just means that the price of it is going higher, because it's now costing more to be able to produce the same kind of thing. So there is no foreign exchange problem. We have what we call value exchange problem. Now, that's a nation. So that's why the people that lead the nation can say they are going on sabbatical in their thinking. And that means that it can affect the nation. But, you know, this is not political gathering. This is a personal economic gathering. So what does that mean to you? If we say that, oh, Isaac, it's good to have you here Sunday. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining. One of the interesting things to also do is to know where you're joining us from. Where are you joining us from? I know there are people from Anambra here. I know there are people from a different part of the people from Ogun State here. There are people from Lagos here. You know, let me know. Let us know where you are from. I really appreciate you. I really celebrate you. So there is no foreign exchange problem. There is value exchange problem. So it's about value. Now, let me say this to you. When I say something is value, when I say I cannot offer you value except when I know what is valuable to you. I can't offer value to Isaac if I don't know what is valuable to Isaac. So my responsibility is to realize that People do things for their own reason. People come for you. People leave your country. People leave your business for their own reason. So you need to understand that if you want people to do things with you, you have to focus on what those people want. So there is no foreign exchange problem. There is a value problem. There is a value exchange problem. So that means the value that we are exchanging, we are not exchanging the value that other people consider valuable. So other people could consider our human resource valuable more than any other resource in our nation. So what happened is that they will find a way to give them different level of incentives and say, oh, come on, if you come to the UK, you are going to come and do masters, if you can go and practice in the UK, you can have this and that, or you can come and practice as a medical doctor. Now, remember that every one of these countries that says our people should come, they should do this, they are literally doing for their own reason. They ain't doing it because they are Santa Claus. They are not doing it because they are Mother Teresa's of the 21st century. They are literally doing these things for their own reason. Everyone does things for their own reason. Raymond Okoji, good to see you here tonight, sir. Thank you for joining. All right, I really appreciate you being here. And so, the first emphasis that you need to have, because remember that in life, your emphasis determines your approach. Your emphasis determines your approach. So the moment you change your emphasis, your approach to things is going to change. So now, every day, a lot of people keep getting overwhelmed. A lot of people keep looking at the dollars and begin to get overwhelmed with things in their lives and begin to ask themselves certain questions. So where are we going? The dollar is going above this and that. That should not be a problem to you. All right? That should not be a problem to you. What should be your focus is your value that you are creating. So, how can you create more value? How can you create value that other people from other clime can begin to pay you? Because remember, it's not a foreign exchange problem that we have. As a nation, we have value exchange problem. So rather than people focusing on creating value and realizing that money is a value voucher. So rather than people creating value, they are becoming a value producer, a value creator. They are running after the value voucher. And as a result of that, they are creating a bigger problem. So the corruptians, or beg your pardon, the politicians of our time, they are running after the value voucher, which is what money represents, rather than focusing on creating value. The vote is the value. The key, the real deal is the value. And you see, nothing is value. You can't offer me value if you don't know what is valuable to me. Madam Catherine, once again, good to see you this night. It's a beautiful day, and this is a beautiful day. I can tell you it is. It is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. So, you think about the value that you are rendering. You think about the value that you are providing. And the moment you can think about that and make that your obsession, the moment you stop thinking about the money and start thinking about the problem that you are solving, that people are exchanging money for, and the moment you start focusing on the value and the volume that you can provide and for the number of people you can solve the problem for, something begins to shift in your world. And what some people call shit becomes your shift, because you are thinking about what truly it is the problem, which is not what you think the problem is. So people think the problem is foreign exchange, but the problem is not foreign exchange. The problem is value exchange. Thank you, Mama. Good to see you. It's a value. And then we're going to look at your value tonight. We're going to look at how are you creating value. All right? You don't get rich because you work. You get rich based on how you work. And so what creates wealth is not what that you work. What creates wealth is how you work. And most people don't know how to work. And what creates wealth is not just about creating value, is on what hierarchy are you creating the value. What are you using to create your value? What tools are you using to make your value happen to people? And so what I want to share with you today is about understanding that innovation and renovation is a concept. And a lot of people often think about renovation and innovation. A lot of people think about innovation. A few person thinks about renovation. I remember, what's the name of this my man? Okay, Zagyu Zeman. Zagyu Zeman was a former chief marketing officer of Coca-Cola. And Zagyu Zeman wrote a couple of books. And one of the books Zagyu Zeman wrote is called The End of Marketing as We Know It and The End of Advertising as We Know It. And one of his other books too, it's called, one of his other books is Renovate Before You Innovate. Renovate Before You Innovate. I love that book, and he's a very amazing marketing man. He's a solid marketing man. And one of the things about him that I love is that marketing is about selling more stuff. And that is why he had a lot of problems with the advertising people of his time, because he believes the marketing is about selling more stuff. Now, this is what happened. Every single day of your life, you have to understand what is innovation and what is renovation. Innovation is about creating what people value. Innovation is about creating what people want. That's what innovation is. And so the first discipline of innovation is to know how to create what people want. Nations that create what people want are going to have a lot of money. And so there are nations that are not many in population, but they are creating what all the clients want, and so they are going to get paid, because money is a value voucher. Money is a certificate that is offered to the people that are creating value. So there are only two ways you can make money. There are only two ways you can make money in this world. It's either you're a producer or you're a plunderer. All right, it's either you're a producer or you're a plunderer. What does that mean? It means that you make money you collect money either by producing, or you collect money either by stealing. So innovation means creating value. So when you say you are an innovator, it doesn't mean you are getting at the sky. It doesn't mean you are literally looking at the heavens and touching your packaries. No, that's not what innovation is. Innovation means ability to create value. And so what is renovation? Renovation then means looking at the value you have created and making an adjustment in it so that you can serve more people. And so many people need to do what I call renovation now about what they are doing. Nations need to go into economic renovation. Individuals need to go into economic renovations. And so don't be overwhelmed by the things around you, because there is no problem that does not have solution. It just means that you have to use one of your assets. One of the misconceptions I've also realized is what we call creativity. Many people say, oh, this guy is a creative person. And I beg to differ. There is no people that are as creative on the planet as entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are one of the most creative beings on the planet. So creativity has been narrowed. The creativity has been considered. Many people think if someone is an entertainer, they will say they are the creatives. Somebody saying, oh, somebody that's a graphic designer, they are the creatives. But that is a very porous use of creativity, because creativity is a skill set of solving complex problems and making it simple. So creativity is not about being weird. Creativity is about finding simple solution to complex problems. So what means that if you can anticipate what people are going to need in their life and be able to create a solution that can solve it, guess what happened? You are creative. So creativity is not that you have a rough hair and your beard are very rough and say, oh, he's one of those creative people. Or you are wearing a confused clothes and they just say, he's a creative guy. No, that is a very porous use of creativity. Creativity is ability to get what you want in life. Is creativity. Ability to know how to give people what they want so that they can give you what you want is creativity. Creativity is knowing how to solve your own problem. That is creativity. And so, if money is a value voucher, now, I need you to hold that thought of creativity somewhere in your heart and somewhere in your note, so that when we get to the point why nothing in life is truly expensive, it depends on how you pay for it. So I will say that again. Nothing in life is really expensive. What makes things expensive is how you pay for it. You say everybody pays, but how we pay is differs. And how we pay for things is what determines whether things are expensive. And I want to show you that. And that is one of the things that make the idea of dollar, foreign exchange to become overwhelming to a lot of people. And I would love the fact that, you see, in a nation where, let me give you an idea. I'm an economist, okay? I'm an economist. But right now, I practice street sense economics. I study economics with a first class in it. All right. But I want to tell you something that is very interesting, and it is going to help you. So, China produces a lot. China is a production hub right now, and China has all the right to have money that is almost the same parallel with dollar. But guess what happened? China doesn't want to have the same parallel with dollar. Why? Because China realized that they want to be producing for America. And so if China is going to be producing for America, something is going to happen. If it has to be less expensive for you to produce in China and take to America than thinking of producing. Now, think about what happened for a nanoseconds. If people can produce more from Nigeria and move it to America, if people can produce more from here and move it to the United States of America, do you think we have a conversation around foreign exchange problem? If dollar likes, let it be 1.3. That makes more sense to me because I'm going to make more money from this dimension because I'm producing for them. The reason why people complain about the dollar or the foreign exchange is because they are consuming. So if you are consuming, you are going to have a problem. But if you are the one producing, you are going to have a feast. So some people are in a feast and some people are having feasting. Why are they feasting? They are feasting because they are on the production side. When the money is higher than your own and you are on the producer side, you are going to make sense. But when you are on the consumer side, you are going to be lamenting. And that is it. It's ultimately about the value. It's ultimately about the value exchange. It's not about the dollar exchange. So there are only two ways people collect money in the world. There is no other ways. Don't let anyone lie to you. You are either a producer or you are a plunderer. A plunderer is someone that wants something for nothing. A plunderer is somebody that wants to take what does not belong to them. A producer is people that get paid for paying attention to what other people need and serving them. So, what side of the equation are you? And I'd like to say it this way. There are three levels of people in Economy Planet. There are producers, there are plunderers, and there are murderers. What does that mean? There are producers, there are plunderers, and there are murderers. In the economy shape, who is a producer? Producer is a producer. You produce for other people. All right? Plunderers are people that steal. They don't want to do anything. They want to steal and they want to find a way to create policies that make them buy exotic cars and all of those stuff. But this is what happened. That is a plunderer. But there is another set of people. They are called murderers. Who is a murderer? A murderer is somebody that have a solution in them, but they are so conceived and self-conceited that they are not spreading it out. So if you have something that other people can benefit from, but you are not bringing it to the world, people are literally suffering because you have a solution, but you are not showing the world that you have a solution. You are a murderer. You are killing the economy. You are killing the people in the economy. You are affecting the people. If you have a book in you have solved a problem for yourself. You build a house before you were 30, and you are living in the house. You are wearing good suit, and there are many people that are clueless. They have even make more money than before you you at that age and you cannot document something for them so that you can help them to be able to live their own life as you or better than you at the age where you were at them, and they can pay to pick up your book, you are living like a murderer. Because a 21st century murderer is not necessarily someone that carry a gun and put it on somebody else and shut him down, or someone that kill another human being. Because there are several ways to kill people right now. If you have a solution that you are not sharing with the world, you are killing the people that need that solution. Because through you, someone is literally dying. You are a murderer. So there are three kinds of people in our world: producers, plunderers, and murderers. You don't want to be either of these two. You don't want to be a murderer. You don't want you don't want to be a plunderer. You only want to be a producer. A producer are the salt of the earth. A producer are the light of the world. So that means they look for a problem, they solve it. They don't just wait for a problem. They are problem searchers. And I call them opportunities. They go for opportunity search. They do what we call PF structure. What is PF structure? I mean, they are problem finders. They are always looking for problem because they know that inherent in problem is the bedrock of civilization. So they are looking at problems and they are creating solutions to it because they know that opportunities is in the eyes of the beholder, and they know that opportunities are always wrapped in problems that needs to be solved. So they are problem finders. They're not waiting for problems, because when you wait for problems, you are literally reacting to life. But when you go find problems, you are anticipating life and creating big and exploring opportunities in life. So which one are you? So don't be a murderer. Don't be a plunderer. Be a producer. Oh, Emeka, it's good to have you with us today. All right, it's good to have you. Because you see, the producer's corner is where you can create your own economy and work your own economic miracle. Because you can literally work your own economy miracle by being on the producer corner. You want to produce. Everyone consumes, but not everyone produces. Consumption will make you fat. Production will make you rich. So everyone consumes, not everyone produces. Consumption will make you fat. Production will make you rich. Joseph Victor, it's good to see you today. How are you doing, man? Good to have you here in the night economy. Consumption will make you fat. Production will make you rich. So a nation that is producing for other nations are going to get richer, because before you can create value for people, you must know what is valuable to them. So don't let us go to the national economy today. No, don't let us go to the state economy today. Don't let us come to your personal economy. How heavy are you in the world of production? You need to understand that there is what we call communism. There's what we call capitalism. There's what we call democracy. There is what we call, but there's also what we call producracy. Producracy are the people that they are crazy. They are addicted to producing. Bankole, it's good to see you here today. It's awesome seeing you in this early hour of the morning. I need you to become a producracy. That means people that are addicted to producing result. So you need to understand that it's all about value exchange problem. And money is a value voucher. Money is a value voucher. You don't have money problem. You have asset problem. An asset is a function. You don't have an income problem. Yes, mama? Consumption will make you fat. You keep consuming. And not all fatness are healthy. Not everyone that is fat is sick. And not everyone that is slim is healthy. Likewise, not everyone that is fat is healthy. So you need to understand that it's between fatness and fitness. So consumption will make you fat. Production will make you rich. All man consumes, not all human beings produce. So consumers make producers rich. Right? Consumers make producers rich. Okay. Consumers make producers rich. So there's what we call gross national produce, and there's what we call gross national consumption. So nations want the consumption to increase. So there are countries of the world that are looking for how people can consume what they have produced. Pasta is not a product of Nigeria, but today we eat pasta almost literally everywhere. These are produce that were exported from other nations to us, that were imported to our nation. So what happened? There are many things that can be exported. There are many things that can you can move, and you have to start thinking from the level of production. There are many African countries where you can get paid. People can pay you. You carry value. But guess what happened? You have to become a producratic, kind of person. So you need to understand that. So be a producer, not a murderer, not a plunderer. Many people, you see, a plunderer wants something for nothing. A plunderer wants something for nothing. All right? A plunderer wants something for nothing. He just wants to give an excuse. He would like to be taken care of without being responsible for his own life. Don't go into the hierarchy of life. Go into the level of production. Be a producer of result, not a producer of excuses. So you come into that point in your life where you don't make excuses, you make result. Are you a producer? So when you look at your life, what are you producing? How are you producing also? Because remember I told you to hold something in your thought. It's about, when you talk about something being expensive, what do you mean? And many times we say these things. Oh man, I want to buy that shoe yesterday, man. That shoe is very expensive. It was very expensive. What do you mean by something is expensive? What do you mean by that? Most of the time, what people mean is very funny. But when it comes to you, do you know that if you look at it critically, you can boldly say the reason why we say things are expensive is how we pay for things. If all you are doing in your life is selling your time to make money, you know that because your time is limited, and then you have invested all the time you have in the month to make about 200,000 naira. For instance, it could be dollars, okay? It could be pounds. It could be Australian dollar, just for the sake of instance. And then you make $2,000 or 200,000 or 500,000 naira, and you decided then you wanted to buy a wristwatch, and they say the wristwatch is 100,000. You know that wristwatch is expensive to you. It's expensive to you because that has already taken 50% of the money that you have spent a whole month working for. You can say that's expensive. But what about if you're making your money by your creativity? You create something once and you get paid again and again. And because of what you have created once, you have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. You go buy the wristwatch, and the wristwatch is not expensive to you. Why? Because what created with the money that you are using to fund the wristwatch is a timeless asset. If you're selling your time for money, your time is a limited asset. So as a result of that, whatever you are buying with a limited asset is an expensive thing. But whatever you are paying for with your timeless asset is just a price. You can't call it expensive. So what do you want to change in your life? You want to change from going from a limited asset to going to a limitless asset in terms of how you pay for things. And this is very important. This is very key. This is what you need to begin to understand and look at your life and say, come on, how can I begin to be a value creator? How can I create global value? How can I create value that other people from different parts of the world can begin to consume? In the last couple of weeks, in the last couple of months, we now live in a comfortable world. Now I have people being a friend on my page from different part of the continent. All right, people are my friends from Ghana, from Zambia, from Ethiopia, from South Africa, from Lesotho, from Botswana, from Namibia. I have all sort of people on this page. People are my friend from Australia, from America, from Cyprus, from Estonia, and all of those kind of places. Why? I tend to give value every single day. And as a result of that, the more you grow in your value and begin to expand your tent and your platform, the more you get connected, and the less you start talking about value, foreign exchange as a problem. Because it's not about the foreign exchange, it's about the value exchange. What value are you exchanging? One time I was in Malaysia's embassy in South Africa. At that time, I wanted to travel to Malaysia, and I went to pick up my visa. And when I got to the embassy, I saw something that really struck my attention, and it has never left me. And what is it? I got into the embassy, and I saw, it was a very quiet place, and I saw a banner on one side of the place, and they wrote on the banner, they say this, and I quote, they say, "Made in Malaysia for the world." Made in Malaysia for the world. It's one of the things that changed Japan. Based on the book Made in Japan, written by the founder of Sony, one of the things that shaped and changed Japan is that Japan began to focus on production for exportation. And as a result of that, the economy of that nation changed. Because you see, you need to start thinking globally. You need to start thinking of how this is now a portable global village. You can be paid money from different parts of the world. You can be paid money from different systems of the nations of the world. So how can you help people to buy things outside of the country and being able to pay? One of the challenges we have had over time is how people can buy things and how people can move things and get paid, the payment structures and payment systems and all of these things. Now, there are problems that are peculiar to the continent of Africa, and we have to start looking at how to solve our problems, because America are solving their own problems, Europe are solving their own problems. There are problems that are connected to African nation that Africans must start solving. Imagine what's going to happen to Africa if all of the countries in Southern Africa, in East Africa, in Middle East Africa, in Central Africa, in West Africa, if you're all connected and we can do transactions and people from all around this space can begin to buy things. All of us together, we are going to almost like 2 billion in population. That means the more the people, the more wealth that can be created, the more production we can make for each other. So don't limit yourself. Like the banner that I saw at the embassy in Malaysia, embassy in South Africa, it says "Made in Malaysia for the world." It can be said "Made in Naba for the world." Do not be in a hurry to want to make money. Make something that can be sustainable, and other people from other clime can begin to seek for it. There is a company called Tom's. They produce shoe. I don't know whether you have seen the shoe before. I have the book of the founder here, but this is what happened. Once upon a time I was wearing a couple of those shoes. I bought them in South Africa. I bought them in Dubai at the time. And this is what happened. The founder went on a short break to the Caribbean island or somewhere, and he saw it, I think, Latin countries, South America. Yeah, it was in Southern America, and he saw these beautiful people, and they were not putting on shoes and all of that. And he decided to start making a form of shoes, and he was making it, and he was getting it in a place. And he was getting it in a place, and he started learning how to make these things. And that is how China also have grown. They move from imitation to originality. Why is this so? Because that is how these things can be done. You have to focus on production. You have to focus on what you can render to the world. You have to think big about what you can render to the world. Your problem is not foreign exchange. Your problem is value exchange. What value are you rendering? What value are you rendering? To how many people are you rendering the value? Solomon the king and the wisest king and the richest king that ever lived in the history of human records says that in the multitude of people is a king honor, in the lack of it is a prince ruin. It means that the number of people that you can serve will determine your financial honor in life. So how many people can you serve? Think Africa, think global, think how many people you can serve. Right? If you run a real estate company, think about how can you take this business to other African nations. That's what we have done. All right. So how can you move these things to other places? Let me tell you, the moment you begin to think of this, the moment you begin to think, the reason why most people get overwhelmed with Nigerian economy, I'm not talking about escapism. I'm not even talking about, okay, let me say this. The challenge is this. Most of us, when we think about better expression in life, we think about relocation. But that is a limited way of thinking about better expression in life. Better expression in life should be about thinking about globalization. Better expression in life is not just about relocating yourself. And I don't want to be politically correct. I'm not really saying you can't relocate, but better expression in life, it begins from you thinking about how many places can I reach? So there was a guy. His name is Adam Koo. I don't know whether you have heard of Adam Koo before. He wrote a book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Destiny. It's from Singapore. It's from Singapore, all right? Adam Koo is from Singapore. He wrote a book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Destiny. He was talking about, in his book, he was talking about at a time in their country, in Singapore, where they were having a little bit of recession and all of that. And rather than a lot of people quitting and all of that, they started thinking about how to expand their business and their idea. And they moved part of the business to Malaysia. They moved part of the business to other Asian countries. And they were making more money. By the time their country will get its own level of stability, the business has been in other countries and they are now making more money. What happened? Because it is only what you expand that you protect. It is only what you expand that you protect. So what have you created? What have you done? How can we reach more people? The social media, the internet has made it more easier for you now to be able to reach more people. You can target other part of the nation, other part of the country, other part of the continent, and more people begin to see what you have to offer. And you need to understand this because it's going to change your life. You don't have foreign exchange problem. The dollar to naira is not your problem. The dollar and naira is not your problem. And the point is, you need to begin to rise about more than the basis of life and begin to think about how can I create more value? How can I create more value? My partner usually says something and it's very humorous, but I'm going to say it. It's quite humorous, but it's good. It's going to give an example it's going to make an illustration to make something very, very sticky. And this is how he said it. He said, if I go around slapping people one by one, I can slap people one by one, boom, 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 on their face. And yeah, definitely my hands is going to be hot after a while. But I'm going around, I've slapped about 40 persons. But he now said this is very profound. Look at what he said. Then these 40 people gathered together. And all of them, these 40 people, now picture this now. I've gone around slapping each person. And I've slapped 40 people. And now these 40 persons came together and slapped me at the same time. What do you think is going to happen to me? Oh, I don't want to imagine what's going to happen to me. I may be literally deaf after the event. Now, that is the impact of one person serve thousands of people or millions of people. This is what is going to happen. Aliko Dangote is in South Africa. He owns one of his cement in, I think, It has about 2 cement companies in South Africa now. The same model, how the cement got dry faster in Nigeria. It bought a cement company in South Africa. It didn't change the name of the company, of the cement brand. All that you just found on the cement is that you found, powered by, owned by Dangote Group. And the same in other part of the continent of Africa. The company Dangote Group, powered by Alhaji Dangote, it's thinking Africa. And so when you think about the money that they have made, the kind of stuff they have done, it's not just limited to Nigeria. They are in, the other time I was in Addis Ababa, and when I got to the airport and I was coming into the country, or I was leaving the country, I can't remember at the time. The immigration people said to me that, do I know Aliko Dangote? They said to me, if you go to Nigeria, please help us create Aliko Dangote. Now, because you see, when you get to Ethiopia has a population of more than 100,000 people. I beg your pardon, 100 million people, I beg your pardon. 100 million people. Now, from the taxi driver to the cab driver and all of the places that you're taking to, they know Aliko Dangote. It's one of the most popular names in Nigeria, in Ethiopia, in the lips of so many people. Even the people that could not speak English fluently in Ethiopia could call Aliko Dangote. Why? Because they think about serving more people. Think service, not just money. How many people can you serve? Do you know one of the reasons I do this every night? I'm not selling you anything. Even when I make an offer of the book, it's never compulsory for you to buy. I'm not begging you to buy the books. But I show up every day, every night, even when so many times I'm tired because of the daily schedule. But I ask myself, how can I serve the people today? How can I help more people? I want to reach about a billion people or 2 billion before I drop the garment called my body. You know what? And I'm finding better way to serve you. I'm finding better way to discover me. Some of you, it's been long you discover me. And someone introduced you to me, or you saw me on the internet, and yeah, we're getting familiarized with each other. Why? Because if you serve, you can starve. If you serve, you can starve. Nation that starve, countries that starve. Now look at it. All of the country in the north, part of the north. I saw a particular statistic a few days ago. Of 2022, some of the places in the northern side put all of the state together, about 6 states. I think it's northeast or thereabout. Put all of about 6 states together. They are not up to the internally generated revenue of Lagos. Why is more generated in Lagos? Because there are more production, there are more activities going on in the city of Lagos. Now, this is what you need to take and put into your own personal economy. How heavy are you at production? In your personal life, do you have a producer's hour? One of the things I do every day is to think and to create. I'm thinking of how to serve more people. I'm thinking of how to serve more people. Coca-Cola has more than 400 products. Remember, Coca-Cola has more than 400 products. If all the product that you have is only your body, is only yourself, you are killing your own self every single day. Some people, the only product they have is their time. And that means the only asset they have is their time. They don't have any other asset. So when something happened to them, they have to sell their time for them to get money. And because there are 3 levels of period in your life. Number 1 period of your life is when you sell your time for money. Now, I call that period of your life your sacrificial period of your life. The period where you sell your time for money is a sacrificial period of your life. There are times when you begin to use your money to buy time, because you're making more money now. I call that the successful period of your life. And then there are times when you have money and you have time. I call that the significant period of your life. Most people, the problem is that most people never cross the first level. They only grow up and die in the first level. They work for 40 years and they retire and they give them pension. I beg your pardon, they give them pension. And you know, that is how they grow. They sell their time for money. They are living their life in a sacrificial period, and they are so used to the sacrificial period that they end up as a sacrificial lamb. They end up as a warning, not an example. So, check that for a moment. So the foreign exchange is not your problem. It is the value exchange. Now, at what level are you offering value? Everyone claims they offer value. A teacher offers value, but why is he poor? Why is a teacher broke? You know, one of the most broken people financially in the world today, it's most importantly in Nigeria, is a teacher. You know, why is it so? Many professionals end up broke. Why is it so? Because all that they sell is their time. So they are looking for who can buy the time, who can give them more money for their time. And as a result of that, they never have time for any other thing again because they want to sell more of their time for money. So they end up living their every other of their life as a sacrifice just for making money. They are not earning a living, they are earning a dying. Because every time they earn, they are dying because they don't have time to do everything that matters to them. So everything that matters to them, besides making money, is dying inside of them. So, the sacrificial period, when you spend your time to make money, the successful period of your life, when you use your money to buy time, the question is how many people get to a point in their life when they use their money to buy time? Because I say to people, one of the best employee that every entrepreneur must hire is an assistant. For instance, you say you're an entrepreneur and you're a very serious entrepreneur and you have a car and you still drive yourself. And you say, man, I can hire a driver. That means you are making money enough and you are not producing enough. Because if you're producing enough, the hours you are going to be using to drive, your part of your production, you should be able to pay for that without you worry. So what happened to you? You spend all day driving yourself around town. So what time do you have to produce then? Be a producer. Develop a producer hour. Think about something to produce every single time. So a teacher gives value, right? Someone will say, but I'm fine. Yes, truly. Everybody. Now look at it. There is nobody in the world that does not have inherent value because we are all created by God and God cannot create trash. There is treasure in every man. I'm not talking about the treasure that God put in man. I'm talking about what humans consider valuable. Because you see, nothing is valuable. Nothing can be termed value to me if it's not valuable to me. So if I tell you that something is value, it's because it's valuable to me. If it's not valuable to me, I can't term it as value. So most people do not think of value from the perspective of the payer. They think of value from their own perspective. So you have to stop thinking about value from your own perspective. Make in Nigeria for the world. What do we have that the world needs? What can we create? What can you create that other people will glad to pay you for? Let me tell you, I have students from different parts of the world, and I see them do amazing stuff. I see them pay me money from different currency. Why is it so? Because I think about how to help them. And you've often been limiting yourself because of your limited programming, thinking that what you have is local, that nobody else can pay you for. Let me tell you a secret, but it's not a secret the moment I tell you because it becomes a system. The human's heart are fashioned alike. That means your problem is not just your problem, it's also the same problem that so many people are facing in the world. They may not be able to have the same peculiarity of what your problem is, but you see that problem of yours that you solve for yourself is still something that somebody else and several people are struggling with in the world. And let me tell you, there are millions of people that have the money looking for who to give it to. There are billions, there are millions of people, hundreds of millions of people, or millions of people that would love to pay you right now. But do you know why they're not paying you? Because they don't know you. And if they don't know you, money can flow to you. So hiding your value is making you a murderer. Hiding your value is making you broke. Hiding your value is making you stranded. Hiding your value is making you look at the economy instead of focusing on your economy. Stop hiding what can make you ride. Stop hiding what can make you fly. Come on. Because if you don't serve, you will starve. And a lot of people are starving because they are not serving. So if you want to fly, you serve. So where are you offering value from? Now let me tell you, everyone offers value. But it's not everyone that offers value that get wealthy. It's not everyone that offers values that create fortune. Because there is a formula to creating fortune. Number one, you can begin to offer value from the point of your muscle. Let me tell you, by no strength shall no man be rich. So you can offer value from your muscle. So you sell your time for money. You're a muscle person. And that is a kind of way of making money. That is a kind of way, because the moment you start that journey, you already know your destination, because your destination is that you're going to be broke. So you use your muscle to make money. Most of our friends, most of our brothers in the United Kingdom and all of those places, you want to make more money? They think about selling more time. They say, man, I have 3-4 shifts. I have to pull this thing. As you're taking the shift, you are shifting your destiny away. Because no one ever gets rich selling more of their time. Your time is your life. Your time is your life. So the reason why you look at it and say, man, this foreign exchange is just killing off things. Do you know how much they bag of rice right now? He said, let me tell you, if bag of rice is your problem, you're very broke, isn't it? If all of those things, all of those mundane things are the things that you are still talking about and saying, oh, do you know the price of rice right now? Do you know what it is? Now, whenever that's your conversation, you need to sit down and just ask yourself, what do I need to change? Because you remember what I said to you, if things have to change, you have to create it. If things have to change, you have to create it. If things have to change, you have to create it. So what do you want to create? Number one, you sell your time for money. That's where everybody begins from in life. Everybody begins from selling their time for money. But the unfortunate part is most people end up there. They are so used to that thing. They have been hypnotized into that system. They never know how to think any other way than just sell their time for money. Then the people move from selling their time for money to moving to a level of management. Now, this is what I say to people. If you want to be rich, you can't manage your time. You have to leverage your time. Because people that manage time don't get rich. People that manage time just get going. So people that leverage time get rich, not people that manage time. So you want to be, some people make their money by being a supervisor and all of that. You're still selling your time. And at that moment, you don't have leverage for your time. You don't want to spend a larger part of your life in that place. So you make money from the skill of just managing other people and all of that. It's good for a time being. Now, that's the way you are offering your own value. Now, but let's move it a little bit. What about if you start offering value using your mouth? All right. What about if you start offering value using your mouth? You are in sales. You an A-list singer, an entertainer. Because your mouth, it's a powerful tool to wealth. Why? Because your mouth is a spiritual way to make money. Your mouth has an infinite store. I write a book. This is a communication. I write a book. And so I've written this book now. I think it's about 3 to 4 years. And guess what happened? This book keeps selling. This book keeps selling. All right, Homa Bankole, I'll see you. Go sleep. Your parent wants you to sleep, innit? All right, so the point is, you must learn how to use your mouth. Your mouth. Learn how to store it with something good. This is what I love to say. I learned it from an ancient man. The mouth of God is the mind of man. The mouth of God is the mind of man. In other words, when what you feed with your mind is what you are storing in the mouth of God. So imagine what you are storing with your mind. So many people have just been feeding God's mouth with the trash. So firstly, your mouth. What are you saying with your mouth? Have you mastered how to use words? Have you mastered how to speak in the public? Have you mastered how to engage your mind? Learn to communicate properly. Make money with your mouth, and you will never be broke again, because it's called from mouth to millions, or you can be from mouth to billions. Your mouth affects what you amount to in this life. So you can't be cheap with words. You have to use words and make words change your word. So you have to come to that understanding. How do you use your mouth? What do you say with your mouth? What do you communicate with your mouth? And then the highest way you can make money in this world is by your mind. Your mind. Oh, Madam Temitope, it's good to see you again this morning, Mama. How are you doing? How are you? How's your body? Good to hear from you. Your mind. Your mind is the most important asset that you have. Your mind is more important to you than your family, than your children, than your friend, than your husband, than your wife. Guess what happened? Because if you lose your mind, you are not valuable to any one of them. So you want to guide your mind with all that you have. The word minds you when your mind is full of good things. Because your mind is your treasure. You need to guard it. Most people have let loose of their treasure, so their treasure is full of trash. Your mind should be guided. One of the ways of building your mind is learning how to read. Right? Learn how to read. Read good stuffs. Read good books. Okay? And one of the ways of learning how to communicate is learning how to write. When you read things, write it down. Don't write what you're reading. Write what you're learning from what you're reading. It's helping your communication. So you write what you are learning from what is being said. For instance, one of the things I do, every single day I read the Bible. And when I read the Bible, I don't write what the Bible is saying. I write what I'm getting from what the Bible is saying. And it has helped me to create a lot of content, because I read the Bible not just to quote the Bible. I read the Bible to learn lessons from the Bible, and I put it in my own word. Two things are happening to me. It's helping my thinking and it's helping my writing. And whatever you write, you see. You want to see something, begin to write it. Whatever you write, you see. Your brain sees what you write. So when your brain sees what you write, your brain sees what you write. Because your brain sees what it sees. Your brain sees what it sees. So what that means is, one of the ways you learn how to communicate is learn how to read and write. Don't say I'm not a writer. Learn how to write the lessons you are picking from what you are reading. If you do that, you are going to improve your communication. And let me tell you, if you improve your communication, you will improve your wealth acceleration. If you improve your communication, you will improve your wealth optimization. Because your words are powerful. If you want to create abundance, you must learn how to use words. So, nations have used words. One of the nations I love the most in the world today when it comes to word usage is America. America knows how to use words. They know how to use words to communicate to the world. They keep telling the world we're the best. This is the place where America, they call it American dream, But one of the problems of Africa, especially a country called Nigeria, is that we use our own word to destroy ourselves. We say funny, nasty things about our nations. We say funny, nasty things about our people. We say funny, nasty things about ourselves. And we're wondering why the world is not rating us. Because the world don't rate you if it don't rate you. The world don't rate you if it don't rate you. The world calls you what you call yourself consistently. Because the moment you're telling yourself, go on our social media platform, goes on our stages, you see the way we lament, the way we talk about ourselves, the way we talk about our nation, the way we call all manner of nasty things about our nation. But this is what happened. Your words are powerful. Even the way you use it on yourself. How are you doing? You say, brother, we're just coping. You say, I'm not coping, I'm winning. This is not religious statement. This is a very deliberate and intentional statement, because this is how you change your word. This is how you change your word. How does the most expensive copywriters in the world, what did they get paid for? They get paid for writing words. The expensive actors in the world, what do they get paid for? They get paid for speaking words. The most celebrated pastors in the world, what do they get paid for? They get paid for knowing how to communicate in the things that permeate into people's soul. Words are not cheap. They are the fabrics and the raw materials for transforming the world that we live in. So if you don't rate you, the world don't rate you. So most of all are wondering why the world don't rate us, because we don't rate us. We speak nasty things about ourselves just to think, to have an opinion. But and you think that the world is not looking at you. Do you know how many things have happened in America? Do you know how many times people are shut down in America? Do you know how many times things happen in different parts of the world, even in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates? But you know what? They project to you what they want you to see, because they know that the world shapes people's perspective. What do you say about yourself? What do you say? Learn how to use words. The reason why many people don't know how to sell, because they don't know how to communicate. It's about the way selling is not talking. Selling is listening. Selling is knowing how to use words at the right time. And the moment you know how to use words at the right time, you are going to be very persuasive. And persuasive people are progressive people. So, what do you want to do? You want to learn. You want to learn how to use words. You want to learn how to use your mouth. Your mouth will help you to amount to something big in life. But what do you see today? You say, I can speak. Learn how to be expressive. How do you learn how to be expressive? You can learn how to be expressive by when you read. So for instance, you read a book, The Money Code. Every chapter that you have read, you will pause and ask yourself a question. What am I learning from what he's saying? What does this thing mean to me? And then whatever it means to you that you have read in the chapter, write it in your own word. Write what you have read in the chapter. That's how I read too. I write what I've learned in the chapter, and it has helped me to create a lot of concept. Your mouth should make you millions. But you know the funny part of your mouth is a two-edged sword. It can help you and it can harm you. Unfortunately, many people's mouth have harmed them. Many people's mouth have destroyed them. Many people's mouth have belittled them. Many people's mouth have made them small on the planet of plenty. Learn how to use words. Learn how to communicate effectively. Then use your mind. Engage your mind. You see, read to develop your mind. Don't read for pleasure. Read to put pressure on your mind so that your mind can produce. Your mind is your production factory. It carries a lot inside of you, but you are not exploring it. Learn how to think. Wisdom is not what to think. Wisdom is how to think. So learn how to think. When you read, reflect on what you're reading. Create your own idea from what you have just read. Interpret the page of things you have read. And guess what? Your mind begins to start. The scientist says that our mind is elastic in nature. It means that you can draw it. When you draw your mind by thinking, when you draw, you can stretch your mind. And when you stretch your mind, it will never remain the same. Read some hard stuff. Most of you read too many soft things. You need to read some hard stuff. Because your brain, your mind, two things develop your mind. Your work and your education. The kind of education, many people's brain don't grow old. Brain grow old when you don't use the brain. And there are two things that make the brain young: education and work. That means if you educate your mind consistently, your brain remains young. If you work and your work has a meaning, you must put a meaning to your work. Your work must be seen as a form of worship. So if you think of your work that way, your brain remains young. Many people are young in age, but their brain is old. Why? They have never educated the mind. They fill their brain, the mind with trash all the time. They have never read any book in the last couple of years. They have never watched anything that can educate their mind consistently. The more you read, the more you add. So you need two things to develop your brain: education and work. The problem of so many people is that the education they have is a poor man education. So many people, the education they have is just a middleman education. Few persons have a wealthy education. So you need to develop your mind. Work and education is what help the brain. So if you don't want your brain to reduce in value, be an addicted educator. Keep reading. Read books on biographies. Read books on the mind. Read books in different aspects that pertain to where you are going in life. And the more your mind is taking new ideas, there is something in your brain called neurogenesis. And what does neurogenesis mean? Neurogenesis, it's something that keeps your brain alert. And every time you're reading something new, every time you're learning new words, it's been proven again and again that every time you improve your vocabulary, you are increasing your IQ. Why is it so? As simple as improving your vocabulary, you have just increased your IQ. That means by learning new words, one new word per day, in 30 days, your IQ will have increased. Isn't that interesting? So you can develop your brain. You can develop your brain by education and work. So be educated. It's to your own good when you read, because reading is beyond passing exam. Reading is about surpassing your own, limiting beliefs and all of that. So read. Someone says, I don't have time to read. It means that you don't have time to make progress. Read. Because there is no time for anything. You create time for everything. You see, what matters to you in life, you create time for it. If you're telling me you don't have time to read, you're telling me you don't have time for wisdom. And if you don't have time for wisdom, you don't have time for shining. So read. Create time to read. Create time to study. The same way you create time to eat. The same way you create time to sleep. The same way you create time to bathe. Create time to read. Study to show yourself approved. A workman that needed not to be ashamed is rightly dividing the word of truth. So you need to keep studying to show yourself approved for what you seek. You see, if you don't show yourself approved for it, you can't get it. So you study to show yourself approved for what you desire. Because you come and you are now in tandem with what you seek. So develop your mind. That's your number one money-making machine. Your mind is your number one money-making machine. Develop it. Study models. Read biographies. Study. Observe. Make it part of your record. Travel from place to place. When you travel to different countries of the world. Don't just travel and take pictures. Travel and observe how things are done. It expanded your mind. Your brain has an elastic in it. All our brains. You have to keep expanding it. The more you expand your brain, the more you expand your universe. Because your universe, your word, your resurrection is stored in your brain. So if you want to resurrect your life, awakens your brain. Because the moment your brain is awakened, your life is alive. So most people's life are hibernating now because their brain is on sabbatical. So the moment you get your brain back to work, your life will come back to life. So read, study, meditate, write, learn how to communicate. One of the things that changed my life is writing these books. I'm writing my newest book now, my newest work. I'm writing my newest work. Another one of my book is with the publisher will soon be out, The Wealth Style Investing, all right? And I've written about 10 books, but one of the things that have changed my life the most in the last couple of years is not a few books I've read, it's the few books I've written, because they have changed my life. Because writing changed me. As much as people say, let me tell you, a few days ago, I was sitting down and I was reading this book. Okay, Stay Hungry, Go Starving. I wrote it and I was reading it. And guess what? I was reading the book that I wrote and I was feeling some bulbs in my body. Because I was learning, it's like I should start writing notes from the book I've written. I wrote the book. And the way I write is when I'm writing, I don't cross-check anything. I just write. I do what I call automatic writing. I'm just writing. It's just bursting out of my head. Let me read one of the page 64 of this book for you. Let me read page 64 of this book for you. Rather, let me read from page 63 of this book that I read a few days ago. Stay Hungry, Go Starving. By the way, it's one of the 4 books, hard copy books you get from the 4X Freedom Bundle. And it's an amazing book, and you're going to get 5 books. Instead of getting for $35,000, you're going to invest for $20,000. This book is going to change your life forever. It's going to change your life. The Money Code, Shut Up and Collect the Money, Close or Lose. But let me read this quickly. It said 3 friends were given the same opportunity, and they came in contact with the same resistance, but one decided to quit before they commenced. Another stayed, put and overcame the challenge, right, and got some result. But the third treated the challenge as an opportunity for him to create a name for himself. The same challenges, but different worldview. You are constructing your own reality daily. You can treat your challenges as a reason why you will succeed or as an excuse for not succeeding. It is all in how you choose to construct your world. Your world is a mirror of how you construct it. You and I are constructing our world every day. That's page 63. It ends like this. Someone decided to be successful because he was raised in an orphanage. But another said, the reason why I can't succeed is because I was raised in an orphanage. Now, page 64, and this is where I'm going to stop, is that 2 friends growing up read a report that if you are raised by a poor parent, you will need heroic effort to create the life you want. One decided to be successful in spite of that report, but the other gave up because of that same report. There are no good or bad circumstances. They are just different kinds of circumstances. Your work is to choose the circumstances you want and use it to grow your life. If you feel circumstances are good for you to succeed, you are right. If you feel you will fail because circumstances are bad, you are right too. You are always right with what you say and feel. Challenges are not good or bad. They're just tools. How they are used is dependent on the handlers. Be grateful for challenges that come your way. Only then will the universe trust you with success. If you pray for growth, the holy wise God and the ultimate vibration of the universe will push challenges your way because that is the only authentic raw material for growth. All right, I read this book. It's my book. I wrote it, and I read some of those things. And guess what happened? It's so lovely. Look at what I wrote in chapter 6 of the book. That life is not designed to be comfortable, but to be remarkable. Comfort zone is not where to live in. Living in a comfort zone is like living in a cold fridge. That is a dead zone. The comfortable zone is an emotional cancer hitting you up the lives of people right now. They are comfortable with little and they are wondering why they seem not to get enough. Here's a question you need to keep asking. What comes first? A remarkable life or a comfortable life? Your emphasis always influences your approach. If you prioritize a comfortable life over a remarkable life, you may not make any tangible mark with life. So, look at that. This is it. I wrote the book. So the book, by writing the book, it influenced me. It stretched my thinking. Most of you, that's why there is so many books inside of you. You need to understand that. And sometimes when you write, it just helps you. I think it's Francis Bacon, or an 18th century philosopher, that says, writing make an exact man. Reading make a fool man. In other words, if you want to reading make a fool man, writing make an exact man. So if you want to be an exact person, a remarkable life comes before a comfortable life. If you go for a remarkable life, your life is going to be comfortable. If you choose to go for a comfortable life, your life will never be remarkable. Because what a comfortable man will do, what a remarkable man will go for, a comfortable man will avoid. And that is the challenge. So, what is the essence of all of this conversation? Simple thing. There is no problem called foreign exchange problem. They are just value exchange problems. So how are you creating value? At what level are you creating value? This is a question I need you to ask yourself every single day. Go out every day and serve the people. Go out every day and think of how many people you can serve. The law of compensation favors you based on volume. How many people can you serve? Two friends are selling the same product. They are making 10,000 on each of the product they sell. One decided to sell 100 of the product in a month. How much has he made? How much is that? That's 1 million. And he was very excited. Another one decided to sell the product and he sold 20. 10,000 profit. How much has he made? 200,000. He was also excited. And one decided to create a system that will sell 100,000 of that product every single month. Now guess what happened? 3 of these people have made money. They were selling the same product, but they're selling it to a different level of people. So one have decided to sell to 100,000 people. One is just comfortable selling to 100 people. One is comfortable selling to 20 people. This is the wisdom. The richest among you will serve the most of you. The poorest among you will serve the none of you. The richest among you will serve the most of you. The broke among you will serve the least of you. The poorest among you will serve the none of you. So what happened is, if any one of you desire to be great financially, if anyone desire to be great in whatever areas of life you want to be, then go and serve many, because the wonders are in the numbers. So if you serve the numbers you serve, determines the wonders you create. So you have to understand that. The greatest among you will be the servant of war. The greatest among you, the richest among you will be serving many. How many people are you serving? How many people are you serving? So how many people are you serving? Think about how many people you can serve every single day. Think about how many people you can serve. Think about how many people you can reach. Because the number you can reach also determines your riches. The numbers you can reach determines your riches. So you can say rich is equals to rich. So that means that if you can reach more people, you can get more paid. So every single day you're thinking about production, you're thinking about value. You're also thinking about from what level are you offering the value, because these are the things that change your life. Focus on serving many people. Create a system to serve many people. Create a system to reach many people. Because if you serve many, you cannot starve. So, how many people can you serve? Where are you making your money from? From a pond, from a river, or from an ocean? So the moment you begin to focus on reaching many people, you are changing your life. He said the richest among you, the greatest among you. So your financial greatness, your greatness in your business is also determined by the number of people that you serve. How are you serving? Oh, you are starving. Now you know why. Because you are starving, because you are not serving. So the moment you start serving, you stop starving. So you see, stay hungry for serving, and then you will never go starving. So that is the key. And that is the understanding that you need to start having. So we want to reach more people. And this is what I say to people. The more people you reach, the more riches you can have access to. So wake up every day and say, how many people can I serve today? Put content out there to serve more people. And as you do that, guess what happens? You begin to see a difference in your life. That's what I'm going to share. That's what I'm sharing with you tonight. And I just want you to know that it's a beautiful time. It's a lovely moment. And never let the economy of surrounding you to limit your own economy. Be a producer. Remember, be a producer, not a murderer, not a plunderer. Who is a plunderer? A plunderer is someone that wants something for nothing. All right. Who is a murderer? A murderer is someone that is hiding what he can make, so they can do for other people to advance their life. And so they're living in unnecessary pain because someone is hiding what he's supposed to offer people. I see that being poor, being broke is selfish. Settling for smallness is selfish, because the more you can, the more people you can help. So what do you want to do? You want to be a producer. How do you start being a producer? Develop a producer's hour. It could just be 30 minutes. It could just be 15 minutes. You're just thinking about what to create that is valuable to other people. Because if you want to make money, you have to do something else apart from the money. Those that make money don't chase money, they chase something else. So they chase what money chases. So they follow what money follows. So what happens is that you have to focus on what other people want that has the money, and they are going to bring it to you, what they would like to exchange the money for. So you spend your producer's hour thinking about that. And there is an easiest way to do that. Remember that the heart of man are fashioned alike. So what problem have you solved for yourself? What solution have you created that solve your problem? And you begin to look into the heart of man and see a particular dimension of struggle that people are struggling with, but you have succeeded at. And begin to ask the question, are you struggling with X and Y? Do you wish you have been able to do this and go for this and this? And so as a result of that, you find that the people that are also struggling with what you have succeeded at. You've succeeded at sales. You've succeeded as making sales in whatever product you are selling. And as a result of all of these things, guess what happened to you? People are still struggling with what you have succeeded at. The reason why people are called murderer in the space of creation is because somebody is struggling with what you have succeeded at, but you are not sharing your solution with them so that they can end their own frustration. And if they're able to end their frustration with your solution, they will create a transaction with you, and that transaction is something that you are seeking for. Stop hiding what can help other people. Share with the world, because sharing creates multiplication. So these are the things that help you. These are the things that change you. This is what you want to do every single day. So people that makes money here follow what money follows. They don't follow money, they follow what money follows, because there's something that money follows. Money follow value. Money follow value. Money follows attention. So they do what money follows rather than following money. Stop being stingy with your solution. Share with people. Make yourself findable. Let people find you that you carry the solution. Let people say of the sale about Yeshua. He said to them, you can go. He said, where shall we go to? You are the one that has the word of life. It means that what proceed out of you should depict life to people. Make yourself findable. Show up consistently and show up excellently. Make yourself findable, because the more you are findable, the more money will find you. Stop hiding. Stop hiding your solution. Begin to think big about your solution. Begin to have an act of generosity towards your solution. And your solution does not have to be something crazy. It just have to be something. What have you been frustrated with? What have you been struggling with that you have created as a solution? I call it the cash flow magician. How to get paid for solving your own problems. So the point is that a lot of people are still in the world today trying to solve a problem that you have already succeeded at. But they don't know that you exist, because they will have paid you. You know why you're broke? You are hidden. You know why you're broke? You are not known. You know why you are broke? Nobody knows what you know. And until they know what they know, the money don't flow to you. Until they know what you know, the money don't flow to you. But nobody knows what you know. And many a time you are underrating what you know, because you have this little problem with your self-respect that make you think because you know something, the whole world already knows it. No. There are many things that you have overcome in your life. There are many people that are still struggling with it. And you can find that audience and help them to find a solution, the template that has helped you. Guess what happened? If you give value to them over time, they're going to give their money back to you. You remember what money is? Money is a value voucher. This concept will change your life. So what do you want to do from today? You want to start living. You want to start practicing. You want to start looking at these things. And instead of thinking about the dollar, you have to start thinking about what you can dole out. Stop thinking about dollars. Start thinking about what you can dole out, what you can give to the world, how you can help people, how you can serve people at the highest level. And the more you focus on that, the more money you will make. The more you stop bothering about the price of goods and services. All right? The more money you make. Think about the challenges that people are going through in different places, and how can you solve it from where you are. Let it be said, made in Anambra for the world, making Lagos for the world, making Ogun State for the world. You need to start thinking global in your thinking. There is no law that says because you live in Nigeria, you have to make most of your money here. There is no law that says that. Now we live in a portable global universe, and that is very important. This is a global portable enterprise, global portable countries, global portable universe. That is where we now live. If you're broke now, it's your fault. And if you also have money, it is your fault. And I think this has helped you today, and if it has helped you, put comment in the comment section, and it's going to be awesome. Put it in the comment section. What have you picked today? What have you picked this morning? What have you picked this morning in our economy, in this space, in this point? What have you picked? Let me know what you have picked, and let's see what we can do. If you have any question for me, ask me before I go this morning. Any question? Oh, you're welcome, Joseph. Any question? Do not forget to share this video. Do not forget to comment with your friend's name that you believe they should watch this video. Put their name in the comment section. and let them wake up in the morning and watch this video. Share this video as many times as you can. It's going to be of help to someone. Someone needs to watch this, and share it many times as possible so that we can reach more people, we can help more people, and that's going to be awesome. By the way, I'm going to be in Port Harcourt on Saturday. I'll be speaking in Port Harcourt on Saturday, and it's going to be awesome. And I will also be having a private section in Port Harcourt for only 30 people. So if you're in Port Harcourt, you would like to have a private section with me. It's called the Inner Circle Meeting. I'm going to be teaching you about the dark psychology side of sales, and how you can be, why you are not selling and why you are struggling with sales. And that is going to be awesome in Port Harcourt. The program is highly discounted. I'm going to be giving it to only 30 people for 50,000 naira each for people that are in Port Harcourt. It's going to be about 4 hours of private section with me after the training I'm doing on Saturday. Saturday is going to be an awesome moment. I will be with my guy, Velox, and we're going to be spending good time with him. All right, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be spending good time with him right there in the city of Port Harcourt. And you can catch up with me, all right? Join me on that Saturday. Come to Tulip Hotel, and you can go to my page. You will have seen where I make the post. And if you live in the city of Port Harcourt, you want to hang out with me, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be beautiful. You want to see me. You want to see me speak. And all the speakers are also going to be there on Saturday. It's called a Rectors Conference, and someone said, I'm not a rector. Yes, you don't have to be a rector to attend a Rectors Conference. Sometimes the ideas that would disrupt your industry will not be taken from your industry, will be taken from another industry, and then you bring it to your industry to cause a transformation. And so that's what you want to do. If you're in the city of Port Harcourt, you want to hang out with me on Saturday, come to the Rectors Conference that's going to be taking place in Tulip Hotel, I guess. It promises to be life-changing for everyone that is there. All right, it's good. It's beautiful. Sharing this moment with you, I believe that you have learned one or two things, and it's going to literally change your life. Thank you, everyone, for this morning. Remember to share this video. Don't hesitate in sharing this video. And remember, it's going to change your life forever. Thank you very much, everyone. I see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.